Alright guys, says I'm live. Welcome in. This is Hanging with Dave. What is this? Episode 19. I've been doing this for 19 weeks now. Well, 20. I missed 1 week. I'll overlook that one. A little disclaimer here to get started like every week. I do enjoy me a cold Budweiser. Cheers, y'all. While I do the live show. This is my day off, so I do enjoy me a cold beer. Also, I am a truck driver by trade, so I may have a little wordy dirt or a dirty word or a foul language come out of my mouth from time to time. I try not to do that. I try to keep it under control. My regular videos, I can actually edit that kind of stuff out, but when you're live, you can't do that. So if it slips out, I'm sorry. I apologize in advance. This week's show, we're going to be going over the best tech deals of March of 2020. That's from Tom's Hardware. And also on Tom's Hardware, it's the new AMD Ryzen Epic Roadmaps. Zen 4 and the 5nm Neon by 2022. We're going to be going over them couple articles today, plus we'll get into the comments, the Q&A. I'll answer any comments come in through the chat. And I'll go through the comments that I've got on the channel for the past week. Hold on a second, guys. I'm awful thirsty right now. There we go. We got her. Alright, let me get you guys flipped over here to the desktop here. Throw me up there in the little corner. And both links to both these articles will be listed down below. If you want to look at some of the better deals or whatnot, or what's going on, it'll be down there. So you guys go check them out. Well, hold on, where was I? There we go. Best tech deals in March of 2020. CPUs, SSDs, and more. Kind of deals they got today, we got the EVGA 2060 XC Gaming. It was $429, now it's down to $379. Pretty good savings there. HPM Gaming Desktop was $1249, now it's down to $1100 at Best Buy. Got if you're looking for a decent CPU deal, you got the AMD Ryzen 3700X. It's down by $31. It was $330. Now it's down to $299. We got some RAM down here. XPM Gamic, 16 gigs, was $79. Now it's down to $67 on eBay. That's a real good deal. I mean, that's quite a bit. That $67 for 16 gigs of RAM. That's pretty good. Let's see, what else do we got down through here? We got some motherboards down here listed. We have the ASRock X399 Taishi motherboard, $339 now it's down to $319. Not bad. Gigabyte Z390 ORS motherboard was $289, now it's down to $269. The 3900X AMD Ryzen 9 was $500, now it's down to $418 on Amazon. Something that's a little bit more budget minded is the AMD Ryzen 3600, was $199, now it's down to $179. Intel's got their i7 9700KF that don't have integrated graphics on it, was $421, now it's down to $389. Graphics cards, we got some deals on some graphics cards this month. We got the 5700 XT, was $409, now it's down to $359. The 1050 Ti was $239, now it's down to $160. That's a big chunk of savings right there. I'm sorry, that's the 1050 Ti. The 2080 Gaming Trio was $389, now or $1389, now it's down to $1228. If you're into the higher end systems and you're looking to upgrade maybe. The 2060 XC version was $429. Now it's down to $379. 5700 XT was $479. Now it's down to $429. 1060 graphics card was $374. Is now down to $239. That is the 6 gig version. 1660 was $309. You get them now on eBay for $274. That's pretty good. Got some monitors down here for sale. That's where you can save you some money on your monitor. If you're looking for a bigger monitor, you're just looking to upgrade from a 1080p to something a little bit better if you'd like. And laptops, desktop gaming PCs and cases. Here's some cases we have on sale. Cooler Master case H500M was $239. Now it's down to $221. There's a little bit of savings. Roswell Gaming ATX was $70. Now it's down to $55 or $54 on eBay. And then you got your peripherals down here as well. Like I said, guys, the links is in the description if you'd like to go check them out. The Cooler Master Hyper 212 RGB cooler was $54. Now it's down to $44 at Walmart. Imagine that. Walmart's actually doing the rollbacks again. Yeah, they got quite a few listings here on Tom's Hardware. If you'd like to save you some money on this next build you got, or we're looking for an upgrade possibility. Alright. Now we're going to move on to the new AMD Ryzen Epic Roadmaps. Zen 4 and 5 nanometer Neon by 2022. Zen 3 and Malin in 2020. Alright guys, I kind of read down through this a little bit this morning. It goes over some of the financial stuff that AMD's doing and this and that. But that don't concern me too much. I really don't focus too much. The next chip's coming out by the end of this year. It's still going to be with the Zen 3 architecture, which is a 7 nanometer process. They're going to enhance on how fast the chips are, probably lower thermals on them and whatnot, over what we've got now, which is the 3000 series processor. They're building on the 7 nanometer. I mean, this is common in the PC world. I mean, Intel's been on 14 nanometer now for, I don't know, seems like a lifetime. But it also mentions that the 10 nanometer Icy Lake server chips from Intel will be coming out. But what I thought was interesting is down here at the bottom of the article here, it says we can also expect the AMD Zen 4 processors for the consumer market will come with the 5 nanometer process as well. This is by the end of 2022, which I haven't heard much of when Zen 4 is actually supposed to be coming out or anything like that. But they're saying by the end of 2022, they're supposed to be down to a 5 nanometer, down from the 7 nanometer process, which should give you better performance with lower requirements for power and less heat output, at least, if nothing else, and better performance out of them as well. AMD's getting down to 5 nanometer by the end of 2022, and Intel, they can't even hardly get down to 10 nanometer yet. It's going to be, and it's going to definitely heat up the competition. It's just going to give AMD a higher lead as far as CPU performance goes. They're going down from 7 nanometer down to 5 nanometer process. That's going to give them a pretty good lead over what Intel's got. Even if Intel comes out with the 10 nanometer stuff, AMD, I think, is still going to hold a fair margin in the CPU race. Seems kind of funny to me. Just a couple of years ago, AMD couldn't hold a candle to Intel, and now Intel can't hold a candle to AMD. And with the way that roadmap's looking, it looks like AMD is going to keep continuing to take the lead from, because there ain't much out on Intel right now, so there ain't much to report on the Intel. You know, the 10 nanometer Icy Lake is supposed to be coming out the end of this year, but that's still, I don't think it's going to match the what AMD's doing already. Alright guys, there's a few minutes on that there information for you. Let's get over here and get into the comments. If you have any questions or comments you'd like to have, go ahead and throw them up there in chat if you're watching live today. Let's see here, where did I leave off last time? Okay, let's get you over here on the desktop. There we go. Sharpshooter 0174, 3 days ago. He commented on the 2020 $1,000 gaming and streaming PC port list video I put out. He says, mate, I have a question. On older video of yours, I have the B450 MDS3H, but in the BIOS on the chip tab, I don't have the integrated graphics selection. And I need to have Ryzen 3 3200G with integrated graphics. Because I don't have any other card, I am already using that. Could it be the BIOS version that I don't have that tab? Any ideas? Because I really want to change some options that are like the shared VRAM. Thanks in advance. I kind of touched on this last week. A lot of people's going in that motherboard. I haven't been in that BIOS for a while. I still got the motherboard laying over there, even though I switched mine out. I've actually been meaning to find time to go in and look at that BIOS. But it says it don't have the tab underneath the chipset for the VRAM or the integrated graphics tab. I'm not too sure on what to tell you about that. Like I said, you know, I've had quite a few people tell me that they ain't seen this. So I really don't know. I really can't steer you in any direction on that. But thanks for watching and thanks for the comment. Let's see here. We got Pro Gamer. Hello, I want to ask. I have RAM at 3000 megahertz in my PC, only using 1200 megahertz. Can you tell me how to fix it? That was on the 2020 $1,000 gaming and streaming PC port list. You have 3000 megahertz RAM and your PC is only using 1200 megahertz. If you're only using 1200 megahertz, you ain't pushing it hard enough to where it needs the extra speed out of the RAM. Or you could go in and I gotta check out the channel of the video I put out on how to overclock the RAM. You go in and try to overclock it, but usually your RAM speeds, Windows kind of don't use the RAM speed unless you have to. I'm not really sure on what you mean it's only using 1200 megahertz. Because your DDR4 memory, it should run automatically at 2400 megahertz, I think. Any RAM kit that's DDR4 should be running at 2400 megahertz. He says his is only running at 1200 megahertz. Maybe you don't need the extra speed at this time. You know, maybe Windows recognizes you don't need the speed. But I'd go in and check the XMP profile, see if you could run it on XMP. If not, go in and manually overclock it. That would be my main suggestions for you. But thanks for watching the video, and thanks for the comment. Oh yeah, by the way, if I butcher your guys' name on these comments, you have to overlook me and forgive me. I'm not very good with names, let alone YouTube handles. Like this next one. Flunky, I guess is the way you pronounce that. F-L-U-N-K-I, Flunky. It says, nice video. That was on the 2020 $1,000 gaming and streaming PC ports list. Well, thank you. I try to put them together. That way, you know, people that's looking to build a system, kind of give them a starting point on the porch list and what they could kind of expect to buy out of a, you know, a certain price point. You know, a lot of people want a $1,500 computer and only have $600 to spend. That ain't possible. You know, them just kind of a starting point that I put out there to, you know, tell you what I'd recommend for certain price points. Let's see here, Marcus Lucas. How to update the ASUS BIOS, ASUS Prime X470 Pro. Can I jump directly to a new BIOS from a factory BIOS directly without having to update another previous BIOS? If I'm not mistaken, let's see here. If I'm not mistaken, this one ain't quite like the Gigabyte motherboard. You had to go up to a certain number before you could go on up. But on this motherboard, I don't think you have to. I think you could go straight from one straight to the next and not have to worry about it. Yeah, there's nothing in the notes saying that you have to have this version before going up to the next version. So whatever version your motherboard came with, you should be able to go straight up to the version. You should be able to go straight to the top with the X470 Pro. Like the Gigabyte, it tells you have to go up to F32 or something like that before you go up past that. This one here don't seem like it has that issue. It seems like they override each other just fine. So yeah, you should be able to go straight up to the latest one with no problems, no questions. But thanks for watching, and thanks for the comment on that one. One day ago, GGZIZ11, I guess, or LL. The thermal paste application doesn't matter video. Thanks for doing the video. Well, you're welcome. That actually came in from somebody that recommended me to do a video on thermal paste application if it matters. And by what I've seen in that video, my results of it, you know, I didn't see nothing that, you know, well, one method performed much better than the other method does. So, but thank you for watching, and thank you for the comment. Let's see here. Testro Sima. If I have the Ryzen 2700X, should I even bother updating? And that was on the Gigabyte B450 DS3H motherboard. Did I brick my motherboard? You're talking about updating your BIOS. If you look through the BIOS, it kind of tells you what the update fixes or what patches they put out. If your system's running fine and you're happy with what your system's doing, you really wouldn't have to update. A lot of them BIOS updates have security updates, or they perform better with the Aegis gaming client. You know, it gives you a little bit better gaming performance. I recommend updating it. You know, back in the day before when people was afraid of computers and afraid of doing the BIOS updates, you know, that was one of the tech's ways to improve a system's performance, and very few people knew about it. Nowadays, updating the BIOS is simple, it's easy, you know, so everybody's doing it, so it kind of takes away from the technicians. But I mean, if it's performing the way you want it to perform and you're happy with the performance, you know, you really wouldn't have to. That's kind of a personal choice. Me, I update my BIOSes on any system that I run or any system that I sell, because there is some benefits to updating the BIOS, and that's on the B450. You know, there is quite a bit of updates that they've done to that BIOS that, you know, fixes compatibility issue with RAM, stuff like that. And also performance for the Aegis gaming, which should give you better IPC or better clock speeds out of your processor that you're running. I mean, as far as, what I recommend updating, I always recommend updating to the newest one because of the benefits of it. And there is a chance that you're going to mess up your motherboard. If you lose power while you're doing the update, it could destroy your motherboard and you have to send it in and have it re-chipped. But the benefits of it, I believe it's worth the risk. And yeah, there has been people that's actually bricked the motherboards by doing this. I've heard stories of it. I've said in my previous videos and stuff that I've never bricked one. That's why when I thought I bricked it, I wasn't sure if that was a brick or if it was something else wrong with the motherboard, because I've never bricked one. I don't know. It's kind of a personal decision if you should or if you shouldn't. And I'd recommend doing it. I don't know what version you're running. So I couldn't tell you what the update would actually do for your system. And it depends on how old it is. If it's 1 or 2 back, you probably ain't gonna see much of a difference in the performance of it. But if you're back to version 1 and there's been 20 updates to it, you'd probably see a pretty massive improvement on how your CPU acts and the way your system communicates with each other. And I'd recommend updating it. It's kind of a personal choice. But yeah, I'd say go ahead and update it, depending on how old it is, But thanks for watching and thanks for the comment. It's pretty well all I got for today. I went through the articles. The 2 articles that I had there, I went through the comments, which I'll take back to all these guys here in a little bit. Oh yeah, I forgot one, which he commented a couple weeks ago too. Let's see here. Omen Gaming. Bro, seriously, you need sleep. If you look down through here, he commented the same thing a couple weeks back. There it is. 2 weeks back, he commented. Well, man Gaming, I'm trying to catch more sleep, but it's kind of hard to catch sleep. But I'm trying to catch a little bit more here and there when I can. But thanks for watching and thanks for the comment. And I'm going to leave it lay at that for today, guys. Nothing's came in through chat. So I'm going to get out of here for the day. It's been about a half hour, so I guess that ain't too bad. I hope the video and the audio is turning out well on this one. Been having some problems with OBS. But anyways, if you like this kind of content, you like what I'm doing here on the channel, give me a thumbs up. If not, give me a thumbs down. There's that comment section below. I'll go through them every weekend like I did today on the live stream. Also, don't forget that lonely little subscribe button if you haven't already checked it, and that notification bell where next time I put out a video, I'll go live. Until next time, y'all have a good day, and I'll see you in the next video or live stream.